All right. Welcome to the show, my delightful delinquents. It is good to see everybody. Can you guys hear me? Can you see me? Maybe not yet. Let's see. Probably should be able to see me now. There we go. Can you guys hear me? Can you see me? If so, we will begin the show. I want to talk at the top of the show. I want to be very clear, and I want to say thank you very, very much to our brand new member of the Diet Coke Commandos who came in during the pre-show. Good Sir Dutchman Chasing has become a Diet Coke Commando. Thank you for that support, buddy. We appreciate it. You guys should be just like your brother Dutchman Chasing. Support the show with your super chats, your super thanks, your donations, and your memberships and your gifted memberships. I would appreciate it very, very much. Now, I saw some of you guys talking in the chat. Somebody said, Jaffe, why ain't you out there protesting? Honestly wasn't aware there were protests today. Is this a weekend where there's lots of anti-ICE protests happening? Am I missing something? Are you guys watching something on YouTube somewhere? Hey, Silver Sky, great guest last night. He says it's my wife's birthday. I'm just stopping by to show some love for a little bit. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate you on the show last night. Tell your wife happy birthday. We love her. We love her. Happy birthday, Silver Sky, Miss Silver Sky. Come on now. There's protests in SoCal. I have no idea. I mean, trust me, I've been out to like the No Kings marches. I went to both of those. I was at No Kings Day. I go out to those from time to time, but I didn't know there was anything happening today. But honestly, I've been real busy and I haven't been paying attention to any emails that may have come through. So if there's anything dramatic happening in that world, let me know. I'll bring it up on the stream. I know it's terrible, but you know, like I said, I find stuff like that. I mean, it's important, but as important, it's, it's entertaining. Isn't that terrible? But it's true. I'm not going to lie to you. I remember when we had the George Floyd protest all over America in that summer of 2020. And I was sitting here with fucking popcorn. I mean, it was terrible. Don't get me wrong. I'm a progressive guy. I hated what I saw, but I couldn't take, I was constantly watching this live stream from where I'm from, Birmingham, Alabama, where people were, trying to tear, and they ultimately did. It took them all night long to tear down like a statue of a Confederate guy out in front of the public library. It's just, it's fascinating shit, man. It's fascinating shit. Okay. I did see this one, though. From today. And, today I don't want to talk unless you guys really have something to say unique or special or whatever, about this horrible situation that's unfolding in America, but in my opinion anyway. But I did want to show this because I thought it was like just batshit stupid. Here you go. This is a video I stumbled upon earlier today. Yeah, it doesn't matter, V8. You're missing the point. V8 says, did Jaffe see the article saying Good and her partner may have been part of a group called Ice Watch who block ICE operations? Nope, I didn't see it. And guess what? I don't care if she changed her name to I Hate ICE and her kids' names to And We Do Too, and we want them to die. As long as she wasn't breaking the law, and even if she was breaking the law, she didn't deserve to be shot and killed. These guys exist. Cops and law enforcement exist to make sure the law is being followed. And if it's not, bring you in front of a court where a judge can decide if you're going to have a jury trial or not. And that's how that rolls. This idea that these chuckleheads, even if they're brilliant, they don't have the right to tell somebody, they're not fucking Judge Dredd, dude. They're not RoboCop. So I don't give a fuck what her job was or what her affiliation was. That's why I've always said, and this is why I say on this, I've said it for years, and it's nothing special. Everybody who believes in the First Amendment says this, which is, I would and have defended the KKK's right to speak out in a public square. They have every right to be out there. I'm not one of these liberals who are like, no, there's certain speech that shouldn't be allowed. No, I don't know. I mean, unless it incites violence. The Nazis should be able to go out there and spew their hateful, dumb rhetoric, because that's what America is. It's a place where you're allowed to express your ideas, as dumb as they may be. How do I see the videos of Jaffe breaking down and streaming God of War? The first video was amazing. Silver Sky, thank you, buddy. So that is right now behind a paywall. So if you are a member at the first tier, which is $2.99 a month, which is the Diet Coke Commandos or higher, you will be able to watch now the entire first level of us playing the Hydra level. And you'll also be able to watch today. It just went live for Diet Coke members, the Twisted Metal fan game that we streamed last week. So Tim Duncan says, Jaffe, how come you weren't this upset when Ashley Babbitt died? Well, because I was upset that the Capitol was stormed, but Silver Sky and I talked about Ashley Babbitt last night. And my issue wasn't that Ashley Babbitt hated Joe Biden. And my issue, even though she was a moron, if she believed the election was stolen, wasn't that she thought the election was stolen. She has every right to have those views and express those views. But my understanding, and again, I think this was Silver Sky educating me on this last night. And I think it was him, but somebody was talking about that where the cop raised his gun and he had this entire mob coming towards him. And he gave them a warning and said, he didn't say stop or I'll shoot like a 1940s, cop show. But he expressed, hey, you need to stop advancing on me. And she continued to do so. And I think there had been enough violence outside by the mob to suggest that they were in threat because they had barricaded themselves in to be safe. So I think the situation's different, Tim Duncan. That's what I would say. Is there a link? There is a link. If you're watching on YouTube and you go to like join at the bottom of the video, that would be the link, I think. And if you don't see it, I'll send you one later. I can't do it right now. Anna G, thank you so much for sending a gift membership, buddy. We appreciate that very, very much. Very, very much. That's not the question. You weren't this upset. Why not? Because it was why not? Because I just explained why they're different. I also wasn't that upset when Rob Reiner was killed. It was disturbing. I love Rob Reiner movies, but it wasn't the same thing as this woman getting shot by ICE. I don't understand. I just told you that it was different. There's your answer. I don't know what to tell you. The only thing I can tell you, Tim Duncan, is what makes me love you with all my heart and soul is you are the name of the father in Good Luck Charlie, a kid show on Disney that my kids used to watch and I watched with them. And so whenever you write as Tim Duncan, I think that you're that guy, even though I know that, you're not. Okay, I'll show you this video though, real quick. This is what I was looking at earlier. Am I going to buy one of those AI girls in a bottle? I might, man. I might just to have her sit right back there. I mean, I have an Alexa and it's pretty much the same fucking goddamn thing. And this one is kind of a cool visual aspect to her. So I might, you don't know. You don't know me. I think they're cool, man. Look at this. Look at this fucking thing. Hang on. Let me share the screen. This was happening. I don't know. This was somewhere today.
Shame on you.
Listen. Have y'all not learned from the past couple of days? Have you not learned?
Learned what? What's our lesson here? What do you want us to learn?
Following federal agents.
Give me my phone.
It's like these guys, man. I don't know. Now, to be fair, and again, this may have been stick solid. We were looking up, the requirements to be an ICE agent. And I was absolutely stunned that you have to have a college. Like I couldn't be an ICE agent because I have one class left to graduate from USC. Everything else I have, but I kept changing out of this one class and I just ended up not needing it. But I'm stunned that all these people are college educated. They don't seem like critical thinkers, like unless they went to Freedom University or some such shit. But regardless, assuming that what I read was true on the internet, that you have to have a college degree, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, these motherfuckers, I can't stand them. I fucking can't stand them. But you know what's really interesting about this whole goddamn thing, honestly, is it really does, I think if we really want to, and maybe we don't, right? You have to kind of separate the fact that this is entertainment for people when it doesn't affect your moment to moment life. And intellectually, you understand how tragic and awful this is, right? But there is also the part of this that it is engaging and it gets you distracted from your own shit, right? So this is entertaining, okay? But if we can get past that part of it, if it's not in the moment affecting our lives, which we should, but it's hard to do, you really have to look at the fact that there seem to really be two different types of people, right? And I know you can notice this going as far back as being a little kid on the playground or high school or whatever. There are the people that really seem to think that might makes right, and they don't care all that much about thought and intellectual pursuits, and they just want to be in charge or safe with someone who's in charge. And I'm not saying they're good, bad, or otherwise. I certainly don't identify with those people. But do you think I am being wrong when I say, or I'm wrong when I say that that does seem like there's that side and this side? There's like the high school kids that were kind of the, at least to people like me, they ignored me for the most part and I ignored them. But my friends and the band and stuff, they're kind of the jerks. And then they're more of the intellectuals. Is that an incorrect reading? And I see it through a filter. But if you actually were like an alien civilization, it's like, no, that's not how it actually is. That's just how you perceive it. But if that's actually true, then you have to ask, I think you have to ask, like, what is that? Is that like, does one side represent? Because then what we do as civilized people is say, well, their side's not wrong and their side's not right. They both, and maybe that's true. Maybe they both offer something of value. But I also start to wonder, is maybe one side the version of man that isn't as evolved as the other side? And I'll leave that to you to decide which type you're talking about. The physical and intellectual also have other factions within, says Crow Dunk. I'm pretty sure. In my neck of the woods, most officers, says Machine, have bachelors at least because they get paid much more and it's very competitive to get hired. Although, you know what's interesting though? This is what Silver Sky said last night. Because he did a bunch of ride-alongs with cops, and he also has a good point, which is if you are out there in the world as one of these cops, what you see on a weekly basis, if not more, you're not, it's what is it they say that you're a combination of like the 7 people you spend most time with. If you are out there every fucking day and you are dealing with people that need the police, that means you're not seeing them at their very best. You may be seeing them at their worst. And that has to affect you. That has to change you as well, I would imagine. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we really do need AI. We need RoboCops. And it's just like, look, we're going to identify it. We're going to film it. We're going to, because think about this for a minute. I know a lot of people who are really into sports don't like this, but the idea of like umpires and stuff games being called by robots and AI, which is, we're starting to see a little bit more of that here and there. That whole thing with the ice guy either fearing for his life because she was trying to ram into him, or her just trying to get out of there, and he lost his fucking mind and shot her. Just feed it all into an AI and let it kind of take all the angles and say, oh, this is, and I get it, people program AI, but I don't know. But yeah, Crodunk says if you're a cop like that, you become less empathetic, for example. Machine says, I've done ride-alongs and worked closely with cops, me having to handle a lot of crisis and counseling. Well, I mean, this is the thing, right? I've told you guys this story where there was this guy who was stalking. I don't know if he was stalking, but he was dating my daughter, and they had a breakup, and he was just being a weirdo. And so he called the cops. He lived like on the East Coast, and he sent them for a wellness check. It's like, oh, she's, I don't know. We get a knock at the door at 5 a.m. It's cops out there. But what was great about it is that it was cops who traveled with a therapist. So when they did wellness checks, like they knew enough to go, we're cops. If you're a bad guy coming at us with a gun or a crowbar, we're your guys. But in this case, I don't know how to handle a teenage girl's high school breakup. Let's bring the therapist with us. And it was great. And I talked to the therapist, and she wanted to talk to my daughter alone. And they went and talked for a little bit. And I talked to the cops. And then it was very clear very quickly that this guy who had then threatened to off himself, this guy on the East Coast, was just doing this as some sort of retaliation. And they were like, oh, we're sorry. It happens, blah, blah, blah. So I love that though. And I told her, I said, I'm so grateful. She said, yeah, it's a pilot program. We don't have it everywhere in SoCal yet, but we're starting one in San Diego. And I fucking, I thought it was great, man. I thought it was fantastic. Nick Fuentes says, Andrea is just another right-wing grifter, incels and school shooter types like him. Well, look, all I can tell you is I've heard a lot of the anti-Semitic shit he said, and that's disqualifying for me. You can be anti-Zionist. You can be you can think like I think that Netanyahu's a war criminal, and that the way they responded to October 7th was and is criminal, but they had to respond. But I don't think they should have responded that way. But that, and you can also think that Israel has done a lot of horrible things that has, and just as has Hamas and Hezbollah and all that, but that's not anti-Semitic, right? But he just seems like an anti-Semite. Let's bring on Amazing Maisie, but I got to warn you. Whoa, Amazing Maisie. You got to listen. I'm getting echoes like a motherfucker. Hang on. Hide on stream. All right. Are you there?
Are you there? Hear me? Can you
I can hear you.
I can hear you, but you're.
I hear myself.
I hear myself too.
Are you in headphones?
Are you in headphones? Some pictures. Can you drop like a place where I can send you some pictures?
Well, you got to get rid of the echo. I can
barely hear what you're saying.
I don't know how to do that. I'm on a phone, dude.
You're on a phone. Okay. Are you on our Discord? Yeah, you're on our Discord.
Jesus, Maisie. I don't know, man. I have limited technology.
Okay, well, tell me what I should Google.
Well, I don't think it's available anymore because my partner and I, who were running a website called Undercovered Magazine, we took down the site because we're both disabled now, and so we don't have the energy to run it. Okay. But I told you about how I did a cross-country adventure of working with activists. One of the activists that I stopped and saw was in Texas. His name is Antonio Bueller, and he does
rather unfortunate.
What? I'm sorry.
It's a rather unfortunate name.
Well, I don't know. I didn't pick it. Right? I actually met him through my highly MAGA Republican cousin who went to military school with him.
Okay.
And he runs an agency where they police the police. So they do like these. They're doing video of harassment in that area.
I've watched a lot of those on YouTube and stuff. Yeah, those are really interesting.
Yeah, so we went to meet him and interview him, and he had us writing letters to prison inmates and sending books to them while they were in prison.
Gotcha. That's nice. That's nice. That's wonderful. So
what do you want to share visually?
I'm sorry?
You said you had pictures.
You want to describe what you want to show with it.
Well, it's a picture of me with Antonio and a couple pictures of the building.
That doesn't sound interesting at all.
Why?
Because that's like showing me pictures from your vacation.
You just described it, and it sounds really cool.
But I don't give a shit
about the building.
Why would is there something special about the building?
No, I actually did write an article about it, but I don't have access to it anymore because, like I said, we took our website down.
Got it. Okay. I would love to talk to you because I know you have a lot to say, but the echo is unbearable.
Okay, I can't even hear it, but I hear you. We'll catch up.
Yeah, I would love to catch up with you. Thank you, bud.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, I think because she has she's on her phone and she can't mute and she's not using headphones. So yeah, but she's really interesting. She's done a lot of interesting work that you know, people like me on the left are certainly you know, a fan of. I know the echo's on me, but it's because she's listening to me speak and then it's coming out, blah, blah, blah. Rob the Mod says the world feels like it's spiraling. So many bitter voices online, and now ICE shooting in Minneapolis exposing how easily power gets twisted into violence and chaos. Yeah. Oh, I'm not on Discord, right, Ryer. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, people. I mean, look, I don't see a way out of this. And I don't mean that like I'm not a gloom and doom guy. I'm a pretty optimistic fellow, but I mean, in terms of there's just too many moving parts, and I don't know if it's going to result like in nukes going off. I don't mean Minnesota. I just mean we're heading towards a point where it with all this, we just can't control ourselves. And people, you know, where does that desire when you get power to shit on other people come from? Well, part of it's probably baked into humanity that we haven't evolved out of, if you look at certain experiments that have been done. And part of it's also probably the fact that a lot of people feel like they're not the captains of their own lives. They're not the stars of their own, you know, adventure film. And they're just kind of spinning their wheels. And when you get a little power, there is this kind of retaliatory, or now I'm going to get mine kind of sensibility that also has to be, you know, dealt with and reconciled and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, all of that, it's just all the way down to the foundation of how we treat each other has created this. And I don't know. I don't know how you solve this. You know, I have no fucking clue. China, you know, I have real issues with China. I have real issues with their massive human rights violations, and I would never want to live under the boot of China. But at the same time, though, you know, if you're the kind of person that gets along in China, apparently it's a pretty good life over there. You know, I mean, obviously you got to, you know, curtail a bunch of your fucking freedoms that over here we would say no fucking way to. Lockmore, hey, buddy. He says, do not despair, Jaffe. Look at Iran. The world is getting better. Well, maybe. I know what you're talking about. Obviously, there's lots of protests in Iran right now, which is great. It sounds like the people are preparing to like storm the power centers of Iran. We might actually get Iran back to what it was like in early 1970s, I think, before they overthrew the Shah and replaced him with all this bullshit. But who knows what they're going to replace it with, right? But yeah, I would love to see that go back to the way it was. And it sounds like this is, I don't know. What I don't know, Lockmore, is this one of, like, they've had revolts and resistance before, and they've always had them shut down. Is this bigger than it's ever been before, and this one actually stands a chance? Or is it that this is just like any other one, like the Arab Spring that pops up from time to time, and it's going to be, tamped back down? But I would love to see that happen. It's people actually, he says a lot more. It says rising up to the regime now. It's bigger than ever, and they will overthrow it. Oh, good. I mean, this is what always happens, right? And I don't know what they'll replace it with. I don't know, if it's going to be better, or, we don't seem to do a very good job of learning from the past, right? But let's assume, though, in this case, they do overthrow it, they take it over, it becomes a democracy again, which I think would be wonderful. Hopefully they're able to go, okay, let's put things in place that will allow us not to, let's learn from the mistakes of other democracies that have struggled, even like America is struggling now. Can you have a real republic without any elements of dictatorship, I guess, is the question. And I'm not smart enough or educated enough to answer that question, but I would say I hope so. Morgan says, let's make it even more religious. I don't think that's their goal, is it? I don't think the people overthrowing it want to turn into a religion. Yeah, you can't, but that's the interesting part though. It's like, even if it's like, there is a point where the people say, it's the emotional version of when they were burning dollars in the Great Depression, because it was firewood was more valuable than the dollar, and they were using that for heat. There's a point where you say the quality of life is so poor because the decisions the powers that be have made, that I'd rather be dead. And everybody's got that line, right, where they're just like, fuck it, I'm done. Lockmort says their goal is to get rid of Islam, or at least restrict it to what Christianity is. Let the people be free. Yeah, religion is, I don't know. I don't get into it. I mean, I will get into it, but you know what I'm going to say. What's the point? I'm not going to offer anything valuable. It's the same old shit. I've hated religion since I was 7 years old. I've always thought it was a problem. I get the value of it for some people, but I don't know if it's worth it anymore with the other options we have. So Left Control Gaming says religion is terrible. I agree with that, but I do know that it brings comfort to some people. And I hate the fact, I don't want to be some selfish asshole that's like, let's get rid of all religion, even if it brings you comfort and community. But, sometimes you got to rip the Band-Aid off. Is getting rid of religion, even though it gives comfort, any different than allowing AI to flourish, even though it'll take people's jobs? We'll eventually recover from those jobs lost, just like every other piece of technology that comes along that we recover from. So maybe you're right. Maybe we just get rid of it. I mean, we can't do that, but we should do that. The One Piece manga pirate flag has been a revolution. Isn't that neat, by the way? I haven't watched One Piece, the live action one, but I've heard that was pretty fucking good. I heard the One Piece live action on Netflix was good. I heard the live action Last Airbender, not great, not as good. But yeah, I love seeing all the pop cultural iconography being utilized. I want to see, it's weird because if somebody were to take like God of War or Twisted Metal, they probably would take the wrong lessons from it. It would be like the Punisher. It's like, it would be the Ice Guys with Kratos. And I'm kind of like, I don't want you guys fucking using shit I was involved with. Fuck you. Who's calling me? Hang on. I don't mean the Last Airbender film. I mean the Last Airbender TV series. Fucking scams. Religion was useful, says Anna, for a time, but we need to move past the dogmatic ways. Oh, of course. What PlayStation were you most impressed with from a hardware standpoint? None. I don't care about hardware. I mean, probably the first one, because it let us do 3D, but I'm not a hardware guy. So, every time they rolled out a new PlayStation, I was just kind of like, cool, man. We get to do more new stuff. But after a while, I stopped really caring. Amazing Maisie says religion is more about accepting our limited lifespan and finding solace in the afterlife. Yeah, but even that, I mean, there's lots of ways. Look, I accept the fact, Amazing Maisie, that we live in a world that is chaotic and confusing, and we have no evidence that we know what's going on and that we ever will know what's going on. But that doesn't kill me, right? That doesn't ruin my life. That doesn't make me spiral into existential crisis. It makes me go, okay, that sucks. That's weird. I wish I knew what was going on. Maybe if we continue to explore, we can get a little closer, but but some people really, it seems like, that's when they talk about disclosure of UFOs or whatever. And there's a famous story, and it's hard to tell if it's real or not, where Carter asked to be filled in because he was a big UFO guy and he had seen a UFO before he became president, and he asked the might have been the CIA or the NSA to fill him in on what's called the phenomenon. Tell us about I'm the president now. I want to know what's going on with UFOs. And apparently whatever they told him made him depressed for like a month, and he sat in the meeting and he just cried and sobbed. And is it a real story? I don't know. It's never been fully debunked, but it's pretty compelling when you think about it, right? I mean, what is it that they told him, right? Is it that we are on a farm for souls and we're just cattle to most things in the universe and we're just being kept here to farm? Is it that, we have evidence of, multiverses and we're the bad one, or are we in hell? I don't know what he was told. But regardless, though, this is the stuff that I think we should make people less scared of. Expose people to these ideas of getting comfortable with the existential chaos that is consciousness when they're young. And then we won't be so susceptible to the charlatans and grifters that come along and tell us they can offer us some kind of sanctuary, some kind of peace from that mental trauma. I don't know. It's the only way to do it. Rob the Mod, you're right, though. Rob says that, if the only, but that's the thing. People say, he says, if your only reason you're good is because religion, then you're not really good to begin with, right? I don't, what is it that, it might've been Patton Oswalt or somebody said, if it wasn't for religion, I would rape all the people I want to rape and I would kill all the people I want to kill, which would basically be zero, because I don't want to rape or I don't want to kill anyone. So, right, if you need religion to stop you from raping and pillaging and murdering, then maybe you have other things you should be focusing on. Amazing Maisie says, I grew up with a Mother Mary statue on my dresser and a bottle of holy water, which I drank when I was thirsty and was too young to know it was sacrilegious. Oopsies. I mean, you guys drink the blood of Christ and shit. What's the matter drinking some holy water? Who are we to take someone's joy pills away from them, says Machine. I guess we're the same people that tell people you can't, as much fun as it might be to drive your car at 120 miles an hour on the freeway, you're putting other people's lives in danger. So I guess we're those people, right? You being obsessed with your addiction to your religion and joy keeps us from stem cell research, keeps people from funding certain kinds of science, or keeps people from making their lives better because they need to not die of sepsis, but they need an abortion, and they live in a state where people feel that abortion goes against God's plan. I guess we're those people. Punk says, with or without religion, good people can believe well and bad people can do evil, but for good people to do evil, that takes religion, says Weinberg. Yeah. Religion provides an antidote to its own trauma. Says Mark, religion is the leg brace it substitutes for allowing people to develop real muscle strength and resilience in the real world. I agree with that. Gray says religion is the bias in today's society because it's abused politically. Communists like South Africa government has a way of lying about the Americans to give out false statement using it as a weapon. Sure. I mean, who knows what's true. I think people using religion to control people, which is probably all it's ever really been for the most part. Reford Head Gaming says abortion is murder. Okay, then you shouldn't have an abortion then. If you ever get pregnant with your wife or girlfriend or whatever, then yeah, if you think abortion's murder, don't have an abortion. Virginia statute for religious freedom says no man shall be compelled to frequent or support any religious worship. Yeah. Well, no one's trying to force you to go to church. I'm sure they would like to if they could. But again, I don't care if abortion is murder or not. People have different views on it. So just don't get an abortion if you don't like it. Just don't marry a gay person if you don't believe in gay marriage. And or they can be gay, I guess, but don't marry someone who's the same sex as you are. Nobody cares what you think, right? People judge everybody every goddamn day. Why is that particular, some people think, giving gender affirming care to kids is awful. Well, then if you have kids, don't give them gender affirming care. I would not recommend it, but they're your kids. You can do what you want. I don't need your help. I don't know where some of these busybody fuckers got the idea that I needed their help, or any of us needed their help when it came to making moral decisions for our own fucking lives. I don't give a shit. The fuck do I care? I mean, seriously, that's one of the reasons I get so riled up with this stuff, especially with like being a parent of a trans kid. Where the fuck did I send out an email that I forgot about where I'm like, help, I need help raising my trans kid. What do I do? I didn't ask for your opinion. The fuck did you get that goddamn idea? Rob the Mod says, if you want to test whether God is real, walk into any hospital or cancer ward and then tell me he's real. Well, they'll tell you he's real because then they'll say, oh, well, he works in mysterious ways. What a brilliant, dumb get out of jail free card. I mean, that shit is some crazy mental gymnastics, Robert the Moderate. Shut up, Reforhead Gaming. My worldview would lead to a bunch of degeneracy. Have you not looked around the world? Have you not looked at all the people who are abused in the name of the church, abused in the name of religion? Shut the fuck up, you fucking troll. Am I talking about games today? I'll talk about whatever you guys want today. I have game stuff lined up. I have yet to watch the I've yet to watch the New Game Plus showcase, which I want to watch at least some of the better trailers from. I can't have faith, says Crodunk, because you have kids with cancer. I mean, I agree with that. I think, do I think this might be a simulation or we might have been put here by aliens or whatever? Maybe. But do I think that there is the God that's talked about in most main religions that loves us? Come the fuck on. Come the fuck on. You got to be shitting me. Machine says, listen now, there's actual value for some folks to religion in key areas. I'm more than happy to come on next week and talk. I get that there's value to some folks, but at some point you have to ask yourself, is the value that those fewer and fewer people get because religion is less and less attended, religious, ceremonies and churches and temples and all that as we advance. Where's the line where we say, as much as you get value from it, the number of negative things coming out of it, including the controlling of the population, the good no longer outweighs the bad is what I mean, that's a valid question to ask, I think. Okay. Monkey says, the whole Christian wanting the Bible in school thing, it is annoying. Like, which one of the thousands of denominations are we going to teach? Why would they want the Bible in schools? Shut up, these idiots. It's hard to reconcile the notion of an all-loving God with the reality of so many children suffering and dying. Oh, I know. Bunny Button will tell you just to watch The Shack. That movie's great. I love that movie. But yeah, the one thing they don't answer in that is why does God, they do answer why God still loves their bad kids, like the kids who do bad shit. But the guy never asked her, it was played as a woman character in the movie. It's like, okay, fine. Why do you make kids suffer from cancer and shit? But it's so interesting to see the hoops. That's what I'm saying. You can't argue logic with people who are into religion. And you shouldn't try because they're not arguing at the same level. They don't care about your logic because for them, right or wrong, and I think it's wrong, they are convinced that, well, you just can't understand the mind of God. You just have to step back and go, there's a purpose. And I'm like, really? Why? That sounds terrible. Sounds fucking terrible. Embers will never learn, says V8 Warrior. He will. He's young, though. Embers is a very young guy. Embers will become agnostic again. I guarantee it. I met a guy who said God is the devil and the devil is God, says the Gray. I read an amazing short story by Harlan Ellison called The Death Bird, and it was batshit crazy, but it was basically positing that humanity was put here by this snake style race, and they lost control of the planet. And there was a whole explanation. He wasn't saying this is actually real. It was a short story. It's fiction. But that race that kind of gave birth to the human race lost control of the planet to this guy. And that guy was God. And the real loving gods were the snakes. And the actual God, it's the reason he vilified the snakes and the Garden of Eden and all that, and convinced us that he was the loving God and the serpent was the devil. And the whole thing was flipped. And it was a fascinating fucking short story, man. It was absolutely fascinating. Listen to this. Ludo steps up to the bar, puts his penis on the bar and says, is this infected? He also reaches into his wallet and pulls out a membership card to Calypso's cult. Thank you, Ludo 57900. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate you part of our community, and we appreciate your support as you've given us for many, many years in this community. Thank you, buddy. Good to have you back. I don't know, man. I mean, you know, faith by definition is kind of illogical, isn't it? Says Lennon. Oh, yeah. Of course. Of course. All right, let me show you what I got on deck today, boys and ladies. Why leave a tree there? Oh, I know. The whole thing is ridiculous. It goes into that. If you're talking about the Garden of Eden, it's like, so if you're all knowing and all seeing, how did they get away with eating from the Garden of Eden? And it's like, why are you mad? You knew they were going to do it. Why leave a tree? Why leave an apple? Why? It's all ludicrous. It's all ludicrous. It's all ludicrous. What shampoo brand do I use? Just kind of whatever I grab at the store. I don't really think about it. I really don't know. I could not tell you what shampoo brand is in the shower right now. I just have no idea. If one of what if God kicks you out of paradise for trying to get your 5+ a day? Well, the other thing funny about that is it originally wasn't even a fucking apple, right? I mean, all this is what's so fucking funny about all this shit. This was in, you know, when this was, you think apples were the main fruit people were talking about in the Middle East where this stuff originated, these stories? No, it was like a date or a pomegranate or something. And it became an apple as Christianity got more westernized. I mean, it's just like, guys, this is all, you can track this. You can track this. A dude I had a crush on, says Maisie, in junior high was super talented musician. He did Devil Went Down to Georgia. I tried to contact him on the day he committed suicide more than a decade later. Maisie, I love you, but I don't have any idea what's got to do with anything. Are you saying because he did The Devil Went Down to Georgia, that was like sacrilegious? I don't understand. Help me, amazing Maisie. Help me understand. Christians give more money to charity than secularists. Who gives a shit? I don't give a fuck. And more importantly, they should pay taxes. The churches and the temples and the mosques should all pay taxes. Then we'll, fuck that shit. Here's what it should be. If any religious institution that doesn't pay taxes is found to have molested one child, that year they have to pay taxes. That would stop the molestation in all of these religious institutions instantly. Because if you diddle a kid and you're the Catholic Church or the conservative movement of Judaism or whatever, and you got to fucking pay your taxes that year, ain't no diddling kids going on there. That'll be the safest place in the world to bring kids to at that point. From an evolutionary perspective, what's frightening is that the uncanny valley suggests there was once something that looked human but wasn't. Punked, I don't understand that. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I don't understand that. You've got to allow them one kid a year, but after that, tax. Right? Well, yeah. Okay. One. Okay. Maybe two. Maybe two. All right, 3, and that's it. We're stopping at 3. Can we agree on 3? 3 kids a year, and then you got to pay your taxes. All right. Jesus, that contest and everything. It's like American Idol. Which 3 kids? Who gets to diddle the kids? 2 on a leap year. Come on now. That's terrible. Scientology dodges taxes and wields influence is so strong it controls how some authorities handle them. Of course. Find God. Hey, God knows where I live. He knows everything. I mean, do you understand how dumb it is, you guys? Come on. Well, you see, God's waiting for you to find him. Wow. What a great childish argument. Everything works in mysterious ways. God loves me, but he's waiting for me to find him. I have to have faith. Fantastic. This is an argument for stupid people. I don't mean religious people are stupid, but I mean the arguments religious people use to push back against logical accusations of their religion. Come on. It's some stupid shit y'all are saying. It's some stupid shit y'all are saying. Okay. What else we got going on today? It doesn't have to all be about religion though. Look at this. I can't play the song because it's copyright, but this is a pretty good point. This is a pretty good goddamn point. Which is, would you say most people have blind faith, says Crazed Assassin? I think most people don't have faith, but they are told they should have faith, and they look around and other people claim to have faith, and so they fake it, but they're terrified. Look, you got a goddamn therapist in the chat with Machine right now. I guarantee I'm open to hearing his take on it, which is probably religion helps a lot of people mentally, but no one believes actually. Everyone is like, this doesn't make sense, but I'm going to choose to believe it, and I'm going to live in denial because it brings me a lot more comfort and it makes me feel included with the group. Just like in high school when you wore some stupid shirt because all the cool kids were wearing it, but you're like, this shirt's stupid. But you're like, yeah, but everybody loves it, so I guess it's good and I'm wrong. I'll just shut the fuck up. Let me let my dog out 1 second. Come on, baby. Let's go. Look up. Okay. Okay. Look at this. So look, this is interesting because if you watch the movie Titanic, and I only saw this today, this may have been going around, but I hadn't seen this till today. You actually do think that Jack and Rose should have ended up together. And I still think they should have, and this is painting the worst case scenario, but this was pretty interesting. Mr. K says, the fact is, none of y'all know. Jaffe don't know. Right. That's why I'm agnostic. Jesus may be real. I doubt it, but I don't fucking know. I was given, if Jesus is real and God is real and we were created, blah, 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 I was given a brain that thinks and that thinks a lot and does critical thinking. I don't know the answer. And so if God were real and I die and I see God and he says, well, you can't come into heaven because you didn't believe in me, I'd be like, bitch, you made me that way. It's not my problem. That's your problem. You fucked up. You fucked up, didn't you, God? Maybe that's why a lot of religious people are so arrogant, because they're like, well, I suppressed my shit and submitted to the Lord. You should take your shit and your lack of belief and pretend it doesn't exist. And they're mad that we won't do that. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not built that way. I don't know. I don't believe, it doesn't make any sense that Jesus would exist or God would exist as described, but I don't fucking know. Here, I have a Bible right here. I'll tell you what, $2 super chats. I'll read you a Bible passage. It'll be God speaking to you, but I get to go first. Okay. Let's see. 1 second. I got to find the damn thing. Here it is. All right. I got a Bible right here. Bible right here, babies. Here we go. I need my glasses because this fucking shit is some small text in this goddamn thing. Now you know, I'm interested in this because I'd rather be reading My rom-com, A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. I love this book. It's so interesting. And I won't even tell you what it's about because I don't want to spoil it, but it's really good. Did the Virgin Mary have a last name? I thought it was Mary. Oh, Mary. Why do I have to have so many kids? Old Testament or New Testament? I don't give a shit. I'm just going to open a page and I'm going to feel the Spirit of God flowing through me. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I got little shining lights. Go fuck yourself. Here we go. God, if you're out there, I need you to speak to me. I know I make fun of you. I know I shoot the shit about you, but hey, that's how you made me. So here we go. Flipping the pages. Feel the Spirit. Feel the Spirit. Feel the Spirit. Boom. I'm touching this thing right here. It says, we're reading from Matthew 4:6. Led, wilderness, and being tempted or tested for 40 periods of time, all appear. Oh, that's not even real. Oh, I'm picking the thing. Let me pick up here. Then Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. After lasting 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. Oh my God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Hey, if you guys want Jesus to talk to you, give me $2 and I'll read your fucking Bible passage. Okay. I'm good, Nightshader. How are you? And yes, I'm making fun of religion. I'm making fun of your religion if you're Christian or Jewish or Muslim or Hindu or any of it. I think it's all very silly. I think we've arrived at a point where we need to just sort of say, it's silly. Now, I support your right to practice it. I support your right to believe in it. I support your right to live your life under the tenets of it. But come on now. Come on now. I'm not going to sit around and pretend this shit's real. What am I, a moron? Maybe. Thank you for the super chat, Ludo. You heard about the Tibetan Book of the Dead, Jaffe. Yep. Very interesting. According to it, after death, you confront your own mind and see the illusions of your own beliefs. I would love that. I have no reason to believe that's true, but it's fascinating. It's a very fascinating concept. Thank you, Ludo. I appreciate the super chat, buddy. But I don't believe it. But I mean, what I know about that is that there are recent studies in brain science that suggest that the life review, whether it is a mystical, magical, religious thing or not, is a thing that makes sense why you would have that experience as you are losing your life force from your bodies. And a lot of memories, old memories, trigger in very vibrant, vivid ways. That is starting to look like that is a real part of the brain, of brain death, or brain transition if your consciousness leaves the microtubules and goes on to something else. I'm not claiming to know that. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. Thank you, Ludo. Okay. Debate Andrew Wilson. I don't want to. Here's what I don't. First off, I don't know who that is, but debate Andrew Wilson on religion, says Forehead Gaming. He would destroy you. I don't. Then that means I've learned something, you fucking child. If you can convince me God is real, what a great thing. I'm agnostic. I'm not atheist. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm the only dog I have in the fight is truth. Or at least as much truth as I can get my head around. He would destroy you. That's the problem with people like you. You care about winning more than you care about the truth. I don't give a shit. If somebody wins a debate over you and you agree with that win, you should say thank you. You should be like, oh shit, I've just learned something. Wonderful. Instead, you run from it. You think it's a shameful thing to lose a debate. This is why you're an idiot. This is why you're a fucking idiot. Anyway, Rose and Jack. Fuck you, Gun. You send me a link to a very short, I ain't going to watch an hour goddamn bullshit thing. You send me a timestamp to a salient point Andrew Wilson makes, whoever that is, about religion, and I'll bring it up on the screen and we'll talk about it. Happy to do it. In the meantime, I want to talk about Rose and Jack. There's a video that went around today that says, this is what would happen if Rose and Jack stayed together. And I thought this was pretty interesting. It is probable that this is what would happen. And I'm not playing the audio because it's a licensed song, but what if Jack and Rose survived? So he takes his coat back, takes the necklace back, and now they're living together in sin. Okay, so here we go. They get married. Well, you can see what's happening. You don't need to goddamn narrate it for you. I mean, this is a very capitalist view of this, but he's not wrong, right? I mean, there is some truth that hopefully she would still be happy because they would have freedom. But so I don't totally buy this, but I kind of buy this, you know, especially the fact that the rich guy moved on to have a great life. I mean, but look, this is what fascinates me about this whole goddamn thing. This is what fascinates me about this whole goddamn thing, which is I don't know. And this is the same level of kind of religious stuff. I don't know how manipulated we've been to believe in certain kinds of morality that keeps us from having power. This guy who gets out of the car, Billy Zane at the end, he, you know, people like him, people like Donald Trump, whatever, they may actually know the only real sequel. The secret, I'm looking at the chat, the only real secret to life, which is morality exists to keep people from grabbing the brass ring. So there's fewer people trying to get the brass ring. There is no moral code. It is dog eat dog. We see it in nature. Why would we be any different? And I don't want to live my life that way. But I do think, practically speaking, it does kind of sort of point to that all throughout humanity, all throughout the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom. We eat things and devour things and take away their freedom in their lives to give us more energy. There's no real consequences. People like Donald Trump, that I consider morally repugnant, live very long when you're like, why the fuck is that guy still alive? His health should have put him under 20 years ago. I'd hate to think that way too, says Crowdunk. But is that because we've been brainwashed by the people who control the messaging that, oh, you should hate to think that way? But fundamentally, it does seem that the people who have no morals do get the better toys and have a better time. And since we don't know what comes after, and we have no real evidence anything comes after, I mean, think about that for a minute. What a wonderful little grift you got going on there, powers that be. Tell people not to go for the brass ring because you won't be moral. You won't get into heaven. Okay, I don't want to be that. I want to get into heaven. I want to be good. And then they're like, you fucking sucker. You fucking idiot. You guys are so dumb. I'm going to take what I want and tell you that you shouldn't take what I want and you want that's more for me. Look, the older I get, the more I think that is probably true. I will not change the way I live. I don't want to live that way, but I have to acknowledge that that may be because I've lived a life in Western society that has told me and brainwashed me, and you got to get brainwashed by something, but has raised me to think that is the truth. I hate to say it. The asshole says Necro will do whatever it takes to get money, therefore have better access to resources and healthcare. Yep. Again, I don't like it. And I'm not saying it's totally true. I'm just saying, doesn't it kind of seem true? I mean, convince me otherwise. Or don't. I don't have to be proven right or wrong. I'm just, that's the older you live long enough, you get more wisdom. It doesn't mean I'm wise, but it means you just have more experience and it becomes difficult to, argue against things that you've seen ad nauseum. And one of the things that I've seen ad nauseum is the rich get richer, the mean get ahead, the jerks win. And what we're left with is, well, at least we can hold our head up high and feel good about ourselves. Really? Maybe we're being lied to, fellas. I'm not going to change the way I live. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But it does seem rational, doesn't it? I don't know. You know, my kids told me I got really mad. I didn't get really mad, but I got disturbed when my kids were telling me they thought it was okay to cheat. And I said, what are you talking about? You know, I said, you know, in school. And I said, why would you say that? And I said, you're denying yourself an education if you cheat. And they said, well, if it's something I want to learn or that I've been convinced that learning it is valuable, cool. But people in this society get ahead when they cheat all the time. And what does it matter if I cheat just enough to get past algebra 2 to get into a college I want to get into? I don't plan on studying math. Needing to pass and take algebra 2 is some arbitrary thing, but I want to be an artist. I want to be a writer. I want to be a plumber, whatever they want to be. You know, interesting. And I was like, you know, when I said, I don't like that, but I cannot argue your point. Gun says cheating gets you to the top. It doesn't keep you there. It depends. That was their point though. It depends on what you're cheating at, right? If you basically like the younger generation are a bit more nuanced thinkers, which I think is a good thing, right? So if you cheat to get ahead, but the cheating isn't about what it means to be ahead. It's just a means to an end. Like you want to get into this college so you can study filmmaking, whatever. You know, algebra 2 is not going to factor into your life. Why would you not cheat so you could get into that college and get a great education being a film director or a writer or whatever? I don't know. It's not a bad point. I'm not saying I agree with it. I think I've lived too long with a certain kind of moral code that I don't think I could change it. And I wouldn't want to change it. But it's hard to intellectually not agree with it. Why not just buy a fake college degree then? Absolutely. If, again, it depends on what your goal is. It's not black or white, right? It's got to be like, that's why I said, if you want to be a great film director and you think getting a great film education is part of that goal, you don't want a fake college degree. You want that education. But if getting into that great education requires you to cheat, and it's a cheating that's not going to affect the end, it's just going to get you to where you need to get, why not? Why the fuck not? I mean, we see it all the time. We see it all the time with successful people. They don't pay their taxes because they can get away with it. They don't have certain laws that apply to them, even though they're supposed to, because they can get away with it. You know, I don't like that, but it seems true. Anyway, but here's Jack and Rose. So they did that thing. Okay. What else do we got going on? Look at now this. This is cool. What's the better trilogy, the Sam Raimi films or the 3 Captain Americas? I haven't seen the third one. I don't know. By the way, we are going to be watching Evil Dead 2 on the Discord today. Members and non-members are welcome. That will be happening at 5 o'clock, I think, California time. So head on over there if you would like. Okay. Look at this. It's pretty cool. I've never had a desire to get a tattoo, but you see this? It is, they showed this at CES. It's an app that lets you print almost instantly a temporary tattoo on your arm. Look at this. It's called the Quick Swipe. Look how fast this is. It looks like a real fucking tattoo. That's pretty cool, right? Yeah, I've never seen Evil Dead 2. Never fucking watched it. So I'm excited. If you're learning a new skill, you're not in a position to know what skills are necessary or useful to justify cheating. And not true. Not true. Don't get me wrong. There will be surprises along the way. Yes, it's totally real. There will be surprises along the way, but I think it's pretty fair to say if you want to be a film director, you probably are like I probably don't need you need basic algebra. You don't need algebra 2. You don't need calculus. Come on, you know it, I know it. Jaffe, I'm quoting you about Carmageddon in a gaming article. Want me to say anything else? No. I mean, what's my current quote? I am excited to play it though. Am I excited for Fable? I'm not. My answer is no, but that's because I've never played a Fable game. I'm excited to see Fable and what it is, because they've been developing it for a very, very long time. And in the last I hear, visually it looks amazing. But I'm not excited because it's Fable, because I don't, I hear they're going to have Fable. They're going to have the new Forza Horizon, which I'm excited to see because I love that one. And then something else I forget. And then they have a mystery game they haven't announced yet, which will be on the 22nd, which is their developer showcase, I believe. You need to know discrete math. What is discrete math? Is that like sneaky math? What do you mean? Yeah, that's an accurate thing. It looks good. The trailer looks good. I'm excited to play it, and I'll play it when it comes out. Okay, then you don't cheat. I'll cheat, Mark. The chances, he says, it's true. You're not in a position to determine what's useful or not. We're not talking about algebra, but if your own ability to make the call writ large. Well, okay, but you're in a position to know if you do a little research. Hey, like forget film directing. Let's say you want to be a accountant. Okay. You're in a position to ask and go online and research other accountants and go, do you think the time that you took studying for like literature classes or film 101 or psych 102 was worth it, specifically as it relates to your accounting career? I think that's pretty easy to figure out. And I think you could also make a decision, because ultimately at that point, why give anybody ever the ability to choose any class they want to take? Just say what you want to do. And it's like, here, take these 20 classes and don't ever ask questions. No, I don't agree with you. I just don't. I'm not saying I think you should cheat, but I understand if you're cheating strategically, probably a good idea. Look, you don't have to cheat. I don't give a shit. I never cheated. I cheated once in 4th grade, one test, and I never did it again. I didn't like how it felt. But I think it's important to at least question how much of our morality is being dictated by people, that if we just follow that morality, they continue to rule the roost and we continue to have to suffer under their oligarchic natures. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Avatar Fire and Ash, #1 movie this week, 21 to 24 million. I haven't seen Housemaid. I'm not going out to the movies to see it, but I hear Housemaid is really a fun movie. Has anybody seen the Housemaid motion picture show? I hear it's pretty fucking good. I like movies like that. I like thrillers and, Hand That Rocks the Cradle and all that shit. Those are fun movies to watch in theaters, but I'll watch this at home. I just went out to the theater a couple weeks ago. Housemaid, what is based on a book? Yes, it's got Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried is her name, or however you pronounce her last name. But I hear it's a really fun, exciting crowd pleaser. Has anybody seen this movie yet or not yet? But anyway, that's doing pretty well. There's this horror film, Primate. It's doing pretty well. Yeah, I want to see Primate too, but all these will be out. Hell, if Netflix ends up buying Warner Brothers, which is looking more and more likely, it'll be out of the theaters and on streaming in 17 days from when they launch, which I think is great. Do you think I can cheat on an exam to become a priest? Would be kind of funny to spout BS to a group of people. You're going to do that whether you cheat or not, man. The difference is just, how self-aware you are that it's mostly all bullshit. So that's what I would say to that little question there. All right, let's look at let's see if there's any good. What you guys watch this? The new the game trailer show, the new game plus. Any good ones we got? Let's look at Deep Dish Dungeon. Let's see what the hell that is. That looks like Minecraft. You know, I'll keep an eye out for it. Blooded Dawnwalker. I hear this is great. I'm excited for this.
It must be here somewhere.
A Dawnwalker is like a special kind of being in our IP. It's neither fully a vampire nor a human. It's something in between. What this means is basically that you, as a Dawnwalker, you have underwent a transformation. You used to be human. And now, during the nighttime, you do get all the powers and the difficulties of being a vampire. So you get the blood craving and so on. But during daytime, these powers are dormant and you still have to eat. You have all the weaknesses of a human, right? But also the perks of being human. One of the things that is unique to humans in our IP is being able to use magic, so casting spells. The Dawnwalkers are not very commonplace in that IP. They are very, very rare, rarer than vampires. So you as a Dawnwalker are kind of special in this regard. I would say the short-term things that have immediate impact on the character development are you have to feed on, you know, either animals or humans on blood suddenly, right? So you get these cravings, you get these like weird, eerie experiences that you didn't have as a human.
I think this looks great, though. I'm excited
and
to see
his
this.
clique of vampires actually caught him on his low point when he was vulnerable. He has used specific traits of vampiric blood in order to cement his position in the valley. Because, you know, as you might imagine, having a bloodsucker as your lord might be a tough sell. However, if the alternative is getting sick and, you know, dying in thousands, actually it doesn't sound as such a horrible thing. He tries to kind of distort the religious beliefs in order to install himself as a savior of the valley. We do explore this in the game, so you might see, like, for example, statues erected to Brensis, new iconography shown in the local cathedral, for example, and in the castle and so on. There is this whole cult of personality he builds around himself. So he basically shows himself as something better than the old order, right? We do have a mechanic tied to shrines that are erected across the valley. And Brensis puts a lot of attention to kind of twist them to his own image. And these do have a functionality. When you play the game, we have assigned specific functions to them. Generally speaking, one of the things we wanted to achieve in this game is to have Brensis being this active antagonist. You know, in a lot of games, the antagonists are out there to be defeated, but generally speaking, you have free reign. You do your own thing, and it doesn't really, change much in how they approach you. In this game, what we wanted to do is to have Brensis react to your actions.
It's weird though, because the girl who's interviewing him or whatever
throughout the valley.
Like, why even have her there? She exactly. Croduck says she doesn't care at all. She's just not even. She's like, she's like looking around. She's terrible interviewer.
As you maybe undermine his operations and so on.
It's kind of like his seal of approval.
Exactly. So it's like, so basically the way you can think about it is like the more you do in the valley.
I fucking hate them. They're all so terrible. They're all such shit. They don't listen. They're not really good conversationalists. It's so gross.
Especially if you undermine princes, you will gain notoriety. The more notorious you are, the more edicts princes will pass in order to thwart you. So, for example, he might send out more soldiers to patrol roads and villages, right? He might, in some extreme cases, maybe even initiate a lockdown of the city to basically hamper your ways of traversing it, right?
That's right.
There is a number of these edicts we have prepared, and each of them is designed to kind of twist and change the general open world gameplay. It also has benefits. There are factions in the valley that dislike princes, so the more notoriety you gain, the better standing with them you get, like they actually like that. There is a number of plot lines that you can follow if you want. You can also cut them off because we have added these systems where, for example, you might lose control over Cohen when he's a vampire if he was hungry. You might kill off some important NPCs and then the plot line just cuts off basically, or you get some alternative version. There are some ways to enter the castle in the open world. You can ignore these side plot lines. You can level up Cohen and decide to attack the castle on your own, right?
Out of curiosity, is there romance in the game?
Romance, yes, of course. We have romance options, yes. We didn't delve deep.
Now we're
into,
talking, buddy. Now we're talking, buddy.
Okay.
And, I'll leave that for the future to talk about. However, yes, you can expect to build relationships with characters. Like I said, there is like one main goal, very varying ways to get to it. These different ways that you pick will impact, what happens with Vale Sangora in the end, and it's all up to you. And I think,
you guys,
I have never experimenting with this.
I have never played The Witcher 3 for more than 10 minutes. Should I play that? Should I make that a game I play? Like, if you were going to play The Witcher 3 or Red Dead Redemption 2, and you've not really played either one, which one would you play? Is what I'd like to know, because I'm looking for a big meaty kind of game to play soon.
Stuff and having fun with it.
For the next section, we have 3, again, I'm going to have to not say incredible games every single time, but we have Prologue, Go Way Back from PlayerUnknown, Beautiful Light from Deep Worlds, and Project Shadowglass from Starhelm Studios.
Way back,
it's just an infinite map generator with some game loops on top.
I played this beta and I streamed it, and I thought it was really interesting, but there just wasn't enough there yet. But it's very early access.
Top of it, so you have a survival loop, which is pretty hard. Get to the weather tower. We give you a map and a compass and not much else. Some basic survival mechanics, and it's a game against yourself more than anything else, and kind of the decisions you make. Then we also have just objective survive, where you just see how long you can last in the world. And free roam for those that just like a hike. The differentiator, or the thing that makes a difference, is that we can generate essentially infinite maps of 8x8 scale. Like, we have a map editor in the game and stuff like that, but we want to be able to give you the ability to give a deep link to someone. So I can just send you like a HTTP link that starts up the game, loads a map and a seed, and I can share stuff I've built with you with just a link, right? So it's kind of, Go Way Back is just, it's a technological experiment or proving some technology we've developed. It's no longer an experiment, it's in production, so it works. But it's also going back to my love of survival games and those kind of emergent, I'm not giving anyone missions to do, it's just get there, and how you get there is fully up to you. Basically, if you play the same seed, you get the same weather, I'm pretty sure you get the same cabin layout, and you maybe get the same loot. So you and 4 friends.
See, I really liked this idea, but what bothered me about it is that not all the systems worked yet. So like, I remember I was trying to like get water, and I got a bucket, but I couldn't get the water from the river. And I'm like, it to be emergent, like he's talking about, there need to be a lot more systems at play, and they're just not in there yet. But I'm excited for this, though.
Could technically race to the weather tower and see who gets there first, because you have the same conditions. And while we don't have multiplayer yet, you have this kind of asynchronous multiplayer that, as long as you can share the seed with people. And I thought, wouldn't that be a cool thing for events where you have 16 streamers and see how long they can survive in objective survive mode, right? Or see who can race to the weather tower quickest, or we can set up the weather just to get progressively colder and see who lasts the longest. There's a weather tower on top of one of the higher points on the map. It's generally the other side of the map. We do have prompts now that tell you what to do in the world. But yeah, there's some simple survival mechanics. Keep yourself warm, keep yourself dry, light fires, board up windows, keep your body in a good temperature, get across the map. And we don't tell you where you are on the map, except when you find a new map in the world and it updates your position, you're left for basic navigation. It's kind of set in the 80s, so you don't have digital GPS, stuff like that. I want to make sure that the worlds we're generating have enough depth that when we add story and mission and quest-based content, that the worlds feel like coherent and real enough that it makes sense. Like, I want to have pathing. I want to have like infrastructure, like telephone lines, this kind of stuff. So the cabins aren't just random cabins in the forest, that there seems to be some like, you know, logical placement of stuff in the world. And once we have those in, then we can more easily go, well, okay, you need to connect all the substations to bring power to the weather tower so you can get a message or go and do various things. Right now, there's a bunch of cabins and there's survival mechanics, but we want to add a lot more depth to the environment. Preface is a tech demo. That I always said I wanted to release a free tech demo of the engine we're building, and that's what Preface is. And the kind of poetic thing is that my last game will be Preface, because it'll just be a visualization of what's possible with our engine at that time. And it's more like Minecraft survival, that it's an example of what you can do with the engine, and it'll be open source and free for everyone, so you can do whatever you want. So having this kind of digital space, like an internet in 3D, I don't see anyone working towards that. I see small bubbles.
Yeah,
but
I
don't see
really
anyone
get,
trying
you know,
to do
maybe I'll
Earth-scale
download
terrain
this.
with
Maybe I'll download
millions
this
of people.
again.
And
I
that's kind
enjoyed
of the
this,
bigger goal,
even though it wasn't
and that's why
ready
we've
to
broken
go.
it down into 3 games. The aim is that you should be able to do anything from 10 by 10 to 100 by 100 with 5v5 or 100v100 relatively easily and not have any problems. We will build maybe an Earth-scale terrain, maybe smaller, with hopefully a network layer that supports millions of people. That will be kind of a survival civilization MMO type game. But again, that's just one layer of the world. Like, I want you to be able to just jump around the world and see what's happening, because you should be able to, like, I think if you want to interact with the world, there should be a layer of survival you have to do, or a layer of gameplay in order to kind of leave your impression on the world.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. Wayne says, I understand why no one watched the game show, too much talking. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather just see trailers, but you know, it's kind of interesting to dive a little deep. I'll skip through some of these in a minute. Javi, we should do an 80s movie stream one of these days. Get some Weird Science, Revenge of the Nerds, Fast Times. I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you. What do you mean YouTube may be banned next year? All right, here's the deal. I'm going to go pee. And then I gotta get a Coke, and then we'll be back, and I'm gonna keep streaming, but we'll keep watching some of these, or maybe we'll jump to other topics. If you guys want to keep streaming for another hour, I need those super chats and memberships to come in. I need to know you love it, you need it, you're willing to pay for it. If not, I'm gonna go fuck your mom. Got him. Ace. Did you hear what I just said? He loves my humor. Yeah. All right, I'll be back in like 3 minutes, and we'll keep rolling. But for now, let's get some super chats. Let's get some donos. Let's get some super thanks, and let's keep rolling along. But I'll be back in just a second. All right. Yeah. Evil Dead is happening today at 5:00 on the Discord. Oh yeah. When is Bunny's podcast starting? When is that starting? I want to listen to that. I want to see that live, at least tune into it a little bit. I know she's got that happening today. Does anybody have the time for that? When are we doing that? It's the same time? No. Okay. Evil Dead is going to start at 5:30, not 8, not 5. Okay, so 5:30, because at least I want to listen to 30 minutes of it. I want to kind of be there live and add to the count. And so sorry about that, fellas, if you've been planning. We're doing it 5:30 now. I'm sorry, that's a shitty thing to do to change it last second, but it's going to be 5:30 because we got to support our bunny. Come on now. We got to support Miss B. Miss B. All right, who else is going on?
Quebec Charlie to Quebec Romeo Foxtrot.
What is
We got your
Corday?
location report. We are monitoring you on the operation zone. Good luck. Over.
Cool. Is this Zelda? I hear a lot about Zelda lately. Zelda? Toxic still a dono goal. We haven't made the money yet. Cool looking though. What is this fucking thing? Now it looks like a Stalker sequel, but it's not, I hope. I like Stalker, but it was too much. I don't know what that means, too much. Cool. Of course you can, Anna. Okay, but I hope it's not. That's multiplayer.
In a world where pixels were once only 2D, now they're 3D. Oh, I'm just with you. I'm Dominic John, the dev behind Project Shadowglass, a 3D pixelated RPG that's a love letter to classic immersive sims like Thief and System Shock. This video is a series of prototype rooms that I've been working on some of the core systems in. No art, no assets will be generated by AI. This is all human-made, hand-placed, made by me and artists like me because we love what we do.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be like a world sim, which I like. I'd like it better if it had AI art.
If you have headphones, I would highly suggest wearing them. All the audio in Project Shadowglass is going to be 3D, and not just 3D, but simulated. The music emanating from this orb is going into the left ear and the right ear, but as I change the size of the space, you can hear the character of the sounds change.
Really looks. I mean, I think sim games are exciting, man. I love sim games like this, but this is not a great trailer.
And if we go around the wall, we can still hear it coming from the opening.
Wow, big deal.
In each ear.
This is stupid. These are just basic functions of any fucking game at this point. I mean, I'll keep it in mind, but I'm not watching this. Okay, I'll play a demo. That's what I'll do. All right, what else we got? Oh god, here we got to watch this for a minute.
Which we have an incredible look behind the scenes of the music with the composer.
I dig that
themselves,
guy's
as well
Marvel
as
shirt
the
though.
Expanse of
Classic
Cyrus
70s Marvel
Reborn
shirt.
from Owlcat. If you're familiar with the Expanse, super exciting, and also Distant Shores, Brittany.
Sorry, the game is called Distant Shores Brittany. It's Brittany, bitch. It's Distant Shores Brittany, bitch.
My name is Amin Bouafa. I'm a film music with a message from Tala saying that he loved the score of some and with the how
What's
the
the no fuck you. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Don't give a fuck. What's the game?
We had some discussions at the early stages of the production, to be honest, whether to go fully class system or something else. And again, we started with sitting down and lining up what possible ways
I've never watched The
player
Expanse.
might
I hear
perceive
The Expanse is
the
great,
power
though.
fantasy, how he can express himself in combat. So he might want to be a sniper, might want to be a hacker, maybe an engineer, something else. As we
Just
designed
incredible
those play
guy.
styles,
What's in it for me?
we thought how to mix it up a bit, how to let player keep for display kind of first particular guns,
I hate to
particular
be that guy.
gadgets, and you
Shut the fuck up, dude. I don't care. What should we watch? Let's see. Oh God. Oh God. All right, let's look at Crimson Desert. Let's see what that is. I
Based on the trailers and based on a bunch of things that I've seen about this game, you can
Oh.
clearly slay dragons. Is that true?
There are dragons in the game, and you do fight them. We haven't revealed just yet whether or not you can actually slay them, but you can fight them, you can fly them.
Can you lay them?
I'm sorry to the Lua fans, but at this point we're not confirming whether or not there's dragon relations.
Could you speak a little bit to how big this game is?
We've been seeing some news out there with some specific numbers floating around about how big the map is. I don't think numbers really do it justice because how big is that in terms of scope and scale? But what we can say is the world's at least twice as big as the open world and playable area of Skyrim. It's larger than the map of a Red Dead Redemption 2. Open world games are about doing things, having activities, having distractions. So we wanted to create a world that's not only massive, but is also incredibly interactive. Obviously, you and your community, Lua, care a lot about romance systems. This is not that type of game in terms of RPG elements and decision making. What it is, though, is you choose the type of character
You should
that
get
you
real
want to play
pissed
as
and
in
like
terms
thump
of
over
your
the table.
progression
Well, fuck you
within
then.
the systems in the game.
Out of here.
And then through basically headcanon, you're having this very different experience than other players because of the scope and scale of the game. You'll be distracted by something, you'll go on this quest line, you'll have an experience that'll be radically different than someone else, even though they're playing the same game. The guiding principle for the game is around empowering the player and not forcing them into specific choices. There's a lot of time between
Will
now and
Powers.
launch,
That's
in March
that's the guy
for
who
us
won the
to be
season
able to
one Chester.
elaborate on those
I know
systems,
Will Powers.
show people if they have, say, I have an hour to jump in and play this game
What's
after
he doing
work,
on this game?
what is my experience going to look like? So we've done a little bit of showing when you're not in combat, how you're taking advantage and interacting in the world, harvesting resource, gathering them for...
He was PR for a while. What is Will Powers doing now? I want to see. Will Powers, Pearl Abyss. Will Powers, Pearl. ABYSS. What's he do? What's he do? Former, he's PR. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, that guy is the guy who won season 1 of PlayStation's The Tester. So, there you go. There you go, boys. Interesting. Interesting. Just Incredible Guy, do you want to talk about God of War? What would you like to know? What would you like to say? What do you want to talk about, man? I'm here. Slightly reminds you of Dragon's Dogma. I could see that. Look at this trailer. Now, this is not from the same show, I don't think. I thought this was kind of a neat trailer, though. Look at this fucking thing. This is called X Killer or something. Look at this.
Welcome to the world of Execular.
Execular.
We are Kasia and Amadeus, the creators of the game.
And this is Gameplay Overview. Execular is a first-person action-adventure game that encourages exploration, rewards curiosity,
and never holds your hand.
You play as Denzel Phoenix, an Execular, a corporate bounty hunter.
Execulars hunt down fugitives and reclaim souls from those who try to escape the system.
One of the game's main hubs is the Tower, a massive fortress city ruled by the Helion Corporation. This is where you accept contracts, upgrade your gear, and prepare for missions.
Job well done, contract fulfilled.
The game is structured in chapters, and almost everyone begins and ends in the Tower.
Outside the tower lies a harsh, scorched desert. You travel through it in a heavily modified car designed to protect you from extreme conditions such as heat and radiation. Inside the vehicle, you have access to your computer, storage, and a working radio.
Can I shoot?
From your...
That's cool.
Survival is a core part of the experience.
Inventory space is limited, and every item matters, forcing players to make careful decisions about what to carry and what to leave behind.
Helion's high-tech systems allow you to hack devices, pick locks, and access restricted areas.
Your cybernetic implants help you uncover hidden elements and investigate the environment.
I mean, it looks like every other kind of game I've played, but it still looks really cool. Like, I'm excited for this.
Linear. There's no single way to complete
It's
a
called
contract.
Execular?
Stealth, dialogue, and combat are all valid approaches and can be freely combined.
In Execular, every decision matters.
What's it gonna be? Plata or muerte?
When's it coming out, man?
Wishlist Execular on Steam.
All right. Well, I am super into that. I am very... Oh, God. Code Violet. I hear that was just terrible. I hear that was just junk, man. That's a real shame, too. Yeah, it's kind of very cyberpunky vibe to it. Yeah, that other thing, though, was terrible. I don't mind interviews and stuff, but it was just, oh my God, going on forever, dude. What the fudge, dude? Let's see. So Bunny just put not Bunny, Anna just put a link into Bunny's and Jessica Bizzle's podcast that will be going up later today. That happens at 5:00 California time. And then our Evil Dead is happening in the Discord at 5:30 California time. I get Mike Adams that Code V looked terrible at every turn, but the thing is though, is I kind of expected, like a lot of games don't look great, but can still be a lot of fun. And I was hoping it was going to be something like that because it had a great theme and everything like that, but it ended up not so much. So I was going to buy it and play it just because I'm like, oh, well, maybe it'll be shitty. So shitty it'll be fun, but my understanding is it's just boring. You know, shitty is one thing, but shitty and boring, that's something totally different. Yeah, I still haven't finished the original Cyberpunk 2077, but I agree. I loved it. I started a new game and then I got busy. I need to stick with something, but it's hard. There's so many fun things to play, you know. All right, well then I guess we're gonna wrap it up at this point. So I will be back in the Discord tonight doing Evil Dead at what's it called 5:30 California time. In the meantime, thank you for hanging out. Hey, there's Wings of Redemption. How you doing, buddy? How's life? How's things? What have you been playing? I see you've been playing the Battlefield Extraction thing, right? How is that? I kind of got off Battlefield. I didn't even buy it. I played the 2 betas and that was it. But I hear the Extraction's not bad. Games nowadays kind of suck. He says you should talk about how indie devs have destroyed the storefront. What do you mean? Most of what I'm playing are indie dev games right now. Like I'm playing, if you look at my Steam shit, most of what I'm playing is hang on, I'll show you. It's all you know, I keep my PlayStation 5 and my Xbox are not even hooked up, right? I mean, they're under the bed right now, literally. Check it out. Is that the real Wings? It is the real Wings, yes. Live and in person, folks. I've been playing Wizardom, which is a first-person, amazing, wonderful kind of thing, whatever. First-person wizard shooter. Bookshop Simulator, which is fucking awesome. I mean, I just got it, and I've got like 13 hours in. Retro Rewind Demo, which is running a video store, which is great. And I've been playing the shit out of Foolish Mortals, which is a point-and-click adventure, which is probably one of the best point-and-click adventures I've ever played. So all of those, I don't know if any of those, and obviously Marvel Snap, I don't know if any of those are even on consoles. 95% of all games are shovelware trash. You get maybe 10 games with any real development budget. I just haven't found that. I mean, it kind of depends on, I mean, the games I just showed you, like, okay, I'll run this just for a minute. It won't run that well because when I play games in Talk Studio, it looks like shit. But like, for example, if you only play big budget games, I get why you would feel that way. But this game probably, I don't know, 10 people, 5 people. But you may look at it and think this is shovelware, and that's totally fair. Hang on, I got to move the screen one second. Okay, let me... Right. Paw and Clean. Yeah, I don't know what that is. But this is like, I mean, this is the game. So you tell me, does this look like shit? It might. But I love this game. I've been playing the shit out of this game. I should reach out to Ed McMillan, the creator of Eugenics. I've had him on for an interview before, Total Package. Thank you for being a member for 33 months. What's weird about it, though, is he unfollowed me on Twitter, so I don't know if I said something to offend him or bother him, which kind of would make me sad, because I enjoyed our conversation very much. But yeah, I've been playing the shit out of this, Jordy, and really digging it a great deal. So, you know, again, is this shovelware to someone? Maybe. But for me, it's more fun than any big budget game, right? So... Anyway, there you go. Just give me the idea. Yes, I'm quitting. Okay. Where's my thing? Hide on stream. Go back to that. This looks like a game made in the Duke engine. Could be. I don't know if it is from 3D Realms, but I don't know if it's using that engine or not. But again, if you are the kind of gamer that plays primarily for graphics, then I would agree with you. Then you want to be waiting for Bethesda and Sony's new first-person game and the new game from GTA and CD Projekt Red's new game and all that. But I would be very bored of gaming if I only played those games. There's so many cool things to play that I couldn't I couldn't just stick to that side of the tracks basically. So I'll check and see why ask Gemini why Talk Studio gives me such frame rate issues. I hate that. You like depth. I want alchemy systems and block percentages. All that. Yeah, but you're going to find more of that actually in an indie game or a AA game, because a lot of the stuff you're talking about probably is a little too advanced for, a $300 million game. People would be like, that's too much for me to think about. Did you play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? I thought that had some really cool systems in it. And was a pretty insanely immersive title. Big budget game says tactile require a lot of sensory of attention, which Jaffe doesn't like to give. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm more interested in something that feels fresh and different for me. Like that game that guy was showing earlier, he talked too much about it, but the pixel kind of simulation game, or the one that Player Unknown is doing, Go Way Back, that I enjoyed that a lot. If it hadn't been so early, I would be playing the shit out of that game. And that's a pretty graphic, intense game, but it's all procedural, so it doesn't cost as much to make. It's not all handcrafted, but all right, fellas. Well, there you go. That's all I got. I will be back on the Discord at 5:30. Oh, wait. Okay. Wing says fresh and different. You just pulled up a game on the build engine that looks like Hexen. Yeah, I'm not saying every game I play meets those criteria. The reason I like Wizardom so much is because it feels how do I put this? The single player mechanics of the variety of weapons and spells is a little bit broader than what I get in most typical first person games these days. And I think the level design is good. And I also like the sense of adventure. There's puzzles in there. So it doesn't just feel like a shooter. It feels more like kind of like a fun little D&D campaign. I actually like it better than Hexen. And I do like Hexen, and I like what's the other one that I like better? They just put out 2 remasters. I've played Volgar the Viking. It's great. What is it? Hexen and I forget. But anyway, I hope you find something you like to play, Jordy. I hope you're well. We should definitely talk games on a show soon if you're up for it. I would love to get you on the show. All right, fellas, there you go. Divinity's new game. What is Divinity's new game? I don't even know what that is unless I do it. Let me check real quick. Divinity game. Original. You mean from Larian? Do you mean the remaster, or do you mean the new one that they just announced? At which point they haven't really shown anything other than that trailer, have they? But I liked the studio. I liked Baldur's Gate 3, so I have a feeling I'll be interested in Divinity 3 or whatever they're calling it. But I've never played a Divinity game, and I was thinking about picking up the remaster Divinity 2, but I haven't yet. Yeah, I totally want to try it. But I think the next thing I'm going to play that's brand new to me, I've had Red Dead lined up, and I've never played Red Dead, and I have that lined up to play, and so I'll be playing that pretty soon. But I don't think you'll like the game I'm addicted to right now, Jordy. But I'll show it to you real quick. But I'm playing the fuck out of this game. Playing the fuck out of this game. Look at this fucking thing. Here we go. You're going to hate it. You're going to hate it. But it's awesome. It's so fun. It's Bookshop Simulator, Wings. It's Bookshop Simulator. Hello, Danny Sullivan. I have a bookstore that I'm running here in Japan. I've added my second floor. I've added a room onto the second floor. And I also have a bookstore that I'm running in France right now. You know, not a problem. Not a problem. Head on to this one. Got some cats in there, Jordy. You can pet the cats. They love you for it. Come on now. Hey. There you go. In fact, I'm going to change the name of this bookstore. Yeah, well, look, no, yeah, check it out. This game does have that. Yeah. First, I'm going to change the name in your honor. It's been called Dark Imaginings. I'm going to call it Wings's. Well, it's Wings, so it's plural. Wings's Happy Place. That's the name of my bookstore. All right, there we go. Confirm. Hey. Hey, didn't do it. Come on now. Wings's Happy Place. Okay, but I'll show you. Yes, I just opened a manga section right here. So my manga section is growing. It's very small. I've got Dragon Sphere, Ghost in the Hotel, and Attack on Colossus. But let's order a few more. We have enough money. Let's get some more manga up in here, huh? Let's get some more manga up in here for the morning. There you go, fellas. Get on that in there. And then we're also going to order a used book, because used books also have rare books sometimes, and you get real lucky with real expensive books. So let's get two. I'll get three of these. Hope for the best. Let's see if we get lucky. Wings doesn't like anime. I don't know. Can't help you. Let's see. You did, Anna. Oh, game design for nitwits. That's a first edition. I think that goes for like $400 or $300. Let's see. You can raise the price. $350 for that one. And dude, I'm not even fucking with you. I've been playing the shit out of this. All right, no special books in this one, but that's okay. I can still sell them. Oh, I'm with you on that. They need to bathe. I don't know, Jordy. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, let's see. Nope, only got one rare book, but that's okay. All right, that's all I got for today. Good to see everybody. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'll be back on the Discord at 5 o'clock. I'll be over at Bunny's stream watching her at 5:30. And in the meantime, thanks, you guys. Be well. Be safe. Have a good rest of your weekend. If I don't see you tonight, bye, you guys.